I'm preparing this silk modal to make a furoshiki with a hand-stitched couture French rolled hem. What I'm trying to do here is get down to the one last thread so that I can make sure that I've got a straight piece of fabric, so that when I'm doing the actual sewing I won't have any of the frayed edges sticking out underneath the delicate rolled hem. And so obviously having everything impeccably cleaned up makes the actual sewing so much easier. It's really good to spend time doing this before I start the actual sewing of the fabric, which is about 66 inches by 44 or 45 inches. Or at least it was before I started fraying threads and cutting everything. And it was very crooked, so the dimensions have changed quite substantially. However, everything's been measured and written up correctly for the kits. And so this is the 45-inch-ish length that I'm pulling all the threads out. And you'll see that there's a little frayed edge left, and it's uneven because of the way that I would have cut it. And so I have to go back and cut the frayed edge off with a special set of scissors that I've purchased specifically for this, that you'll see a little bit later on. And I want you to be warned, this is not going to be the most exciting video you've ever watched, but hopefully you will be able to relax and enjoy the peacefulness and the calm that it brings. I thoroughly enjoy the actual immersive experience of losing myself as I'm doing this, and I thought you might enjoy that experience as well as hearing some of the snipping of the threads and other ASMR. And I apologize ahead of time for taking everything out of the frame, so you can't actually see what I'm doing sometimes. I was really pleased to be able to get the pansy print done on a semi-natural fiber. Not that the polyester ones from the original collection are not without their strengths, and I mean that in a literal sense. I've been using mine to bring art supplies back and forth to the garden for 2 seasons now, and there's not one flaw in the fabric, and they've really held out quite well. And I really like them because they're pretty. So there are positives and negatives to the polyester versus the silk modal. But I really do like the softness of the luxurious silk modal against my skin. So as a furoshiko, the polyester works quite well, but also these are quite strong silk pieces as well, but they may be better suited for light grocery shopping and maybe carrying small parcels, when you go out and about shopping in the neighborhood, rather than hauling heavy equipment to go drawing and painting with. Okay, so now you're starting to see me cut with these very special scissors, and you'll see how perfectly straight they cut all of the fringe off, and it's just so perfect. It just falls away, and I'm going to be saving all of these little snippets for my fabric art pieces that I'll be using later. But look at that, they just fall away perfectly. And pretty soon I'm going to take it out of frame, not on purpose, but it's been difficult videoing, seeing past the camera, and I didn't realize that I'd taken it right off. But just look at that. You can see the cuts are really precise. Yeah, here's where I've taken it off camera, and I'm sorry. I apologize. Well, it's a little bit on. But I mean, it's just the same old anyway. And I just find this so meditative. It's as meditative as doing the rolling hem, which I'm not doing in this particular video yet, but look at it again. I'm mesmerized by it as I'm cutting. And I do, again, find it very, very soothing and meditative. The sound of the scissors, watching the threads fall, all of it. And these scissors are pretty amazing. One of the blades is smooth and razor sharp. The other side has a saw-like blade that catches the fine fringe and pulls the threads in towards it, allowing for a really precision cut. Let's see if I can get a close-up here for you. Okay, here we go. You can see the serrated edge on the right. Okay, again, apologies for me taking everything off out of the frame. I've just gotten so mesmerized by what I'm doing that I'm just not paying attention. Oh, here, let me show you some of the beads and the chain that I'm using with this. The beads will be purely decorative, but the chain becomes a functional piece that holds the hem down. It's something in couture sewing that's used for hemlines. And so I wanted to incorporate that into the sarong as well. And it doesn't interfere with the practicality of using it as a furoshiki. Now I'm having a lot of fun picking up all the little threads. Not sure exactly how I'm going to use them in any of the fabric art pieces, but we'll see. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. And I do have a little vacuum that I'll be using later, but I'm just having too much fun. I'm trying to pick up all the prettiest pieces. Oh, and before I go, I want to show you this clamp that I bought. It's called a hemming bird, a little play on words there. But it clamps and it becomes a third hand and helps me hold the fabric if I need it. And sometimes I do while I'm doing the rolling hems. If you could see the smile on my face as I'm picking up all these last little threads, I'm sure you'd be smiling as well. You know, just a little OCD, right? There, done.